It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior Live. I'll be your host today. Please put in the chat where you're from and who you are. When we start reviewing the news articles, if you want to look at our Facebook page, just click here and you can follow the articles along as we go. See you in a moment. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or wherever you are. Welcome to Tech for Senior Live. We are going to have a great hour today. We're going to have lots of fun. We have Huey Popluck with us today and Bob Gustisha. We'll talk a little bit about them in a minute. For those of you who are new and who are just listening, are you guys getting a bit of a feedback?
Yes.
I wonder where that's coming from. Maybe just stay muted for a second till we figure that out. No, I'm still getting the mute. Sorry, guys. Sorry, everyone, about this. We want to get this fixed before we check this out before. I don't know why. Let me just change my microphone here, and we'll see if that works.
Ron, you're muted.
Yep.
How does that sound? Does that sound okay? A little bit different?
Yes.
We're still hearing that noise.
Still hearing the noise in the background, eh?
Check to see if you make sure you don't have your Facebook audio on.
I'll just turn off Facebook here for a second. Nope, that should be off. Sorry, everyone, about this. We just want to get this, see if we get this fixed. Can you still hear it now? Yeah. Don't know. We'll have to work on it and see how we work out here. Anyway, welcome to the show, everyone. We are indeed going to have a good show today and lots of fun. This is down, but better, Bob.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We are going to have some fun today, and I wanted to let everyone know who we are. Well, we are, of course, three people from Tech for Senior on our Monday show. That is really bad feedback, isn't it?
Mute yourself and see if it's.
Are you guys getting it, or?
Yes, I am.
No.
I'm still. I don't know if I'm still getting it now or not. Yeah, I'm still hearing a little bit of it. Bob, try muting yourself, and Ron, unmute.
Now, are we getting the feedback now? I don't think we are we?
No.
No, it must be Bob then. Yeah, Bob, stay muted for a little while. We'll see how we do. We'll keep Bob muted till we're talking, and then we'll unmute Bob. Anyway, we are. This is Tech for Senior Live, where we go over the news of the week. We have, of course, our Monday show, which we do. And it is a Zoom meeting. Today, we're doing a broadcast through StreamYard, and it's going out to, of course, Facebook and YouTube. If you are over on our Zoom meeting, we'll see you there Monday, because nobody is there. So if you want to come over and you're sitting there and you're wondering where you are, just go to our webpage, www.techforsenior.com, and we will and you can come. There's a link there, and it'll bring you right over to our channel. So we also record this, so it's recorded, and we'll certainly be able to play it back later on today. And also, we have a podcast, and we podcast this out, and it'll be available tomorrow morning on the podcast networks that will. As it is today. So that's great. So we're going to have a good time. We're going to sit around. We're going to have a bit of a chat. I'm going to introduce everybody. We're going to drink some coffee, and then we'll go over the news reports of the week that we have posted to our Facebook page. And if you want to go over to our Facebook page and follow along as we're going through the news reviews, then that's great. Now, let me just introduce everybody today. Now, you may not, if you're new here and you don't know who we are, you may think we're three of us sitting in a studio together, but we're not. We're all over the place. And in fact, we're in different countries. So I'll introduce myself first. I'm Ron Brown. I'll be your host today. And this is... and I live on Vancouver Island, which is a little island off west coast of Canada, and it's if you miss the island and you miss us, you'll head over to Japan as you're heading west across the Pacific Ocean. I have a co-host that we host our Monday show, and that, of course, is Huey Popluck, which Huey is on the other side of the world. He's in Florida, right? Down in Bradenton, Florida. And Huey, of course, is, Huey hosts our Monday show. Huey, you are also the proud owner of an S22 and a Galaxy 4 watch, right?
That's correct.
Wow.
And somebody just did a spam phone call in the background. I didn't put the phone up, so I can't push the button, but hopefully
we didn't hear anything.
Our Crisp will take care of that.
The Crisp, yeah. Okay.
And and my watch, except for I can't wear it all night long and all day long because of the band. It itches like crazy.
Oh, really?
And it's not the original band. I had the same problem with the original band, and I bought a metal band, and I'm still having an issue.
So we're going to
figure that out. Just get used to it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. We're going to talk a little bit about watches later on today, because there's lots of news about watches, and I've been busy tapping and paying with my watch, as you'll remember from our Monday show. Bob, now let me introduce, there's three of us today, and of course we have Bob Gostisha, who is our security expert and a regular on our Monday show. Bob is traveling, and he's actually in Campbell, Texas. Total number of people that live in Campbell, Texas, we looked it up today, was 563. But Bob, you said there's two more because you and your wife are there.
Yep. Now it's 565.
And what can you tell the traveling public to make sure they take with you when you travel?
Lots of money to pay for the gas.
And also about their...
Nothing here is close to anything, anywhere. If you want to go to the store, fill up the tank. This is Texas.
And what did you leave that you had to get? What?
Yeah, I took a laptop with me, and I know I had a charger in my computer bag. It turns out that the computer I took and the charger I had in the bag aren't for the same computer. So I bought a Universal, and that didn't work. My Dell told me this is not a Dell-approved charger, and I won't charge your laptop. And I got news for you. When a laptop gets down to 0 on the battery, it stops working. So I'm on a replacement right now. Hopefully, when I get home and plug that computer back into its actual charger, it'll come back to life. Until then, good luck.
All right, so there you go. Huey, do we have any comments? Let's now. The other thing is, if you're listening, we have no idea if we're talking to ourselves. We could be just sitting here having a little chat this morning and going over things. So we have no idea who's listening. If you wouldn't be so if you please put your name in the chat, your first name, and maybe where you are or what the weather is, or just let us know you're out there. That's great. We're going to run up some of the messages now. Huey, have you got? Of course, Steve was here. Thank you, Steve. I saw you were first today, Steve, from Kirkland, Washington. 56 degrees and rain. Yes. Maureen Glenn, hello from rainy Victoria. Sally, lots of rain expected today, Kirkland, Washington.
As usual, our West Coast audience gets on first.
Yeah, they're all from the West Coast. Mike from sunny Florida. Mike is a regular. Thank you, Mike. And he also contributes to our to the Monday show. Thank you for doing that, Mike. And we look forward to your solar talk you're going to be doing soon. Just keep me posted. Olive, hi from an overcast sky at 65 degrees in Willamette Valley, Oregon. Why has Oregon got sun and we got rain? I guess you got to go over the mountains, eh? Richard says Monrovia, California. Hello, Richard. Stu, hello from Dunedin, Florida. 90 degrees. Yikes.
I woke up about 1:30 in the morning and I checked the temperature. It was 81 degrees here at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Irving, greetings from Ottawa. Lots of rain. Wow, rain even on the east part. Richard Clarkson, it's just you, Ron.
Well, this is when we were having all the feedback.
Yes.
So I'm going to skip those notices. Let's see.
I think we're doing okay now, you guys. What was everyone? Yeah, I think we're okay. Bill, sorry, we thought we had this all fixed before we started. We did work on this before. Bob Baxter says Bellevue, Washington, 59 degrees and rain. Gerald Smith, West Seattle, 56 degrees. Stan Wallner, yes, 90 degrees and sunny now in Orlando, but heavy rain expected this PM. Rainy season has begun.
The weather report here said it's going to rain, and then I said, "What's the chance of rain?" And it said 31%. So Miss A does not get it always correct.
Richard says 92 degrees in Southern California. I have a Samsung 21 Plus and Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. We're going to talk a bit about those today, Richard. So lots of stuff for you. Liz says hi from Ohio. Hi, Liz. That's great. Bobby from Northwest Phoenix heading for 110 degrees. Yikes. It is hot. All right. Before we get to the news, I wanted to talk to everybody a bit. Now, we talked about password managers before, and I must tell you, I have been teaching password manager courses in our computer club in Mesa, Arizona for the past 10 years. Bob and Huey and I have been extolling the virtue of password managers, and we're tired of doing it, aren't we, guys? I don't want to talk about password managers again because everyone should be using them and that should be it. But the problem is, if you look at the stats on the number of people using password managers, it's not very high. It's been estimated somewhere between 15 and 20% of people use them, and that's about it. And it hasn't really gone up despite our effort, all that effort we've put in the last 10 years. We're either talking to the preacher, talking to the converted, or we're not converting people, right? Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up today is because there's a lot of changes occurring, particularly Huey and I, and Bob as well, have been able to unlock our Chromebooks with our phone. So the unlock feature is available now through your phone. And as we move forward to the Galaxy 5 watch, which is coming out, and of course the new Pixel watch, we're talking about smart unlock with watches. And it makes a lot more sense, and I think people will adopt to the unlocking feature on using your phone or your watch a lot better than password managers. But I wanted to give you, there was an article this morning that came out, and it said these are the 6 common reasons why people don't use a password manager. And I thought I would pose these questions to you two and see what you think. All right. And so the reason number 1 that people give for not using a password manager is I have my own system and it works fine. You got any comments?
Most of them are using, let's see, you can't see, yeah, you can almost see the lines, just line paper in a little notebook, and they put all their passwords in there, and then they use the same darn password for almost everything anyway. They said,
Right.
if I go to help one of my neighbors, I say, "What's your password for your for this program or that program?" They say, "Oh, I always use such and such a word with a 3. And if it's not that, try it with a 4. And if it's not that, try this word." So they have 2 or 3 passwords and they use it for everything. Bad
Right.
idea.
Bad idea. Bad idea. Bob, do you have any? I know you're just shaking your head. You're saying, I just don't want to talk about this. Anyway,
They got them hanging on their refrigerator.
I know. Or
Because they don't-
sticky.
Or post-it notes
Yeah,
on
yeah,
their,
the post-it
on
notes
their monitor.
on the
Yeah.
monitor. Yeah, yeah.
Of course,
Well,
that works really well when somebody comes in and helps you fix your computer. They don't
Yeah.
ever look at those things.
that was funny. When I retired, I'm a retired physician, and after I retired, I went back to the military and did a couple of stints there for 6 months, and they had like 3 levels of passwords that you had to get into the medical record system. There was the general base system, you had to go in the hospital system, and then you had so there were 3 passwords, and they changed them every 3 weeks, right? So everyone had sticky notes all over their monitors.
Yep.
And wherever you went into an office, they had all these sticky notes to remember, because you had to change them all the time, and you couldn't use the same password. So anyway, that was sort of fun for a while.
I'm very happy to report that when I went to buy that computer yesterday, because I had to have something, they turned down my credit card. And I said, well, you should be in New Mexico and you're purchasing a computer in Texas.
Mm.
It can't be you. So, of course, I got on the phone. I called them, went through 50,000 different things to identify myself. They said, okay, ask him to try it again. And then I put the credit card in. It's approved. And the guy looked at me like, did you get an extension? I said, hell no. I said, they finally knew it was me here in Texas, not some crook. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. But at least they did what they were supposed to do. So I can't really be mad at somebody for disapproving, because they did what they were supposed to do.
All right. Reason number 2. It takes too much time. So
It takes more time for your password manager to automatically fill in the information than it does for you to type it on your own.
yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
So that's the thing, of course, that people don't understand, is there's an autofill feature in the password managers, so you don't have to actually type all that in. It's going to put it in for you. That's a really important point, I think, that people need to know, is
Yep.
that autofill feature is really cool, and particularly if you're on different sites, and boom, it just autofills it. Also works on your mobile phone. It will autofill in, and so you don't actually have to actually type those long, complicated passwords in.
I just went through that with the person that we're visiting here, because I can't remember my password. Well, doesn't your password manager? Oh, I meant to do that.
All right.
We've been
Reason
coming here for 16 years. 16 years.
All right. Reason three. All right, here's a biggie. It costs too much. Now, part of the problem, now you guys hear, I'm going to tell you that one of the most common password managers, of course, is LastPass.
Mhm.
And then they got sold and their business model changed. And of course, they put a fee on it. There's still a free version, but that certainly probably rocked a few people. Bob, how would you, do password managers cost a lot of money?
No, LastPass is still totally free,
Mhm.
but you can only use it either on your computer or on your smartphone. You can't have the free on both at the same time.
Right.
Okay. But there are other password managers that are totally free and are cross platform and cross device, and they don't cost a dime, nothing.
There you go.
The
Okay.
one I've been using since I had a Palm Pilot, once you purchase it, it's it. There's no yearly fee or anything. It wasn't expensive, but I had to buy one for my PC. I had to buy a version for my Android, and I had to buy another version for my iPhone. But other than that, I don't. It's not a recurring cost, and it was very inexpensive and more than worth it. I've been using it, as I say, for years and years.
Bitwarden is totally free. Can use it on all devices, all operating systems.
Okay. Reason number 4. This is a biggie, you guys. Reason number 4. Having all my passwords in one place is dangerous. Now,
Well, if you have it in a note, if you have it in a notebook,
Right.
it's still in one place.
No, I know. I thought, well, just a minute now. Where would you want to put them then? Do you want sort of them spread out amongst 4 different books, or like how would you put it? Like, I don't quite get that. I'm not quite sure how it says. I can hear this one. The idea that would you put all your passwords in one place seem like a direction contradiction with security. If someone breaks in, you could be in for a world of pain because all your passwords in one location. Anyway, I think that's I think that's probably not a big reason. All right, here's another, and this is a good one. Number 5. There's only one more after this. Storing my passwords in the cloud seems risky.
Well, I know my program. It stores it, and I can put it wherever I want it. But I keep it in Dropbox. But when I sign into the program on my PC, it goes to Dropbox. If it connects to Dropbox, it will then download the most up-to-date synced version, and then it uses the local version. So if I can't get to Dropbox, it's still the last version it updated on my computer. So that's just not valid.
Also, you're right, and a lot of times the security codes that they use, what do you call it, the encryption keys that they use, it's not possible because the cloud doesn't know what the encryption key is. It's not stored in the cloud. It's stored on your computer, so it's not really hackable in the cloud because they're all encrypted. All the passwords are encrypted, and you can't look at them. So even if someone hacked in, it's not there. They're all encrypted. So
and I use a password that's very long and is not used anywhere else, and it's not one that somebody's going to figure out.
Okay. The last reason, you guys, is I'll get stuck with a password manager I hate. What do you think about that one? Now,
pick another one.
Yes, and I think the thing that's important here is, I think you guys will agree with me, is it's easy to export the file. You can export the data file and import it into another password manager. Is that not fairly easy to do?
Not always, but
Not
some
always?
some of the ones make it easy to do that.
Right.
I know the one I used. The reason I didn't go to LastPass was it was difficult. I did finally find a way in which you can do it, but it didn't export and import all of the information, because I store a lot of information in my password manager. I store keys to software when I purchased them.
That you have to pay for. That's the reason you couldn't export all those things.
No, I had the paid version of both programs. It just didn't. The formats. The formats weren't the same. That's all.
All right. So those are the reasons that people give for not wanting to use a password manager. Huey, do you have any comments or questions before we get into the news articles?
Just this one.
Mike says LastPass has just implemented a sign in to their app using their authentication app, thus eliminating even the need to remember a mastered password.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. And again, some of them we're even moving away from passwords. I think as we move forward in this next couple of years with the biometric scanning and all the ways that we're activating these peripheral devices, and I think passwords will hopefully be a thing of the past. Anyway, please,
just as a reminder, though, if you have a phone, especially a phone, make sure you have some kind of a password to sign into it, because phones are so easy to lose or leave somewheres, or or get stolen. And if you don't have any kind of a password
And
on it, people could just open it and they got everything they want.
Mhm.
if you pick up your phone, it's immediately available to you. You're looking to lose all your data, all your information. And most people have more personal information on their phone than they have on their computer. So when you pick up your phone, it should ask for you to enter your PIN. If it doesn't ask to enter your PIN and everything is right there, when you lose it and the crook picks it up, everything is right there for the crook to use.
The interesting thing, I've been running around, of course, our last two shows on Monday we talked about, 2 weeks ago we talked about using your phone as a credit card. In other words, the Google Pay. We talked about Samsung Pay, Google Pay, and Apple Pay. And I have been running around using, of course, my phone. It's a blast. I love it. I'd never go back. It's like sliced bread. I would never go back to pulling my credit card out of my wallet. It works great. However, last week we talked about, of course, using your watch, and that's even better because I don't have to get my wallet out. And so using your watch to pay is even better. So I think that these devices are pretty cool, and you're going to see some interesting things happening with, of course, the Pixel Watch coming out and the Galaxy Watch 5, which was interesting. It's going to come out at the end of August, and I was reading about that. We'll talk a little bit about that later today as we look at some of these articles. So maybe we should get on and do some work. What do you think, guys? We should get on and maybe do some
we're getting
articles.
there. Yeah, yep.
We should maybe do that. Huey, do we have any more comments, or we got all the
Nope.
comments?
That's
We're
it.
okay with that.
Ron, I just got a scary notice come up on my computer. Power saver. Battery was down to 19%.
Oh,
And then I looked at it and said, it's set to run down to 20 and then charge it back up to 80.
Oh.
So when it hit 90, the message came up. I said, wait a minute. I just bought a new computer because my other battery didn't charge.
so you're telling us if you suddenly disappear,
No. It's back up now, back up
goes back up.
to
All right.
above 20. So it is
Okay.
charging. It's doing its job.
Very good, because you got lots of articles. In fact, you got the first. Let's just share this again. How do you do that? You got the first article. You got the first article today. All right. Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. And for those of you who are watching, you can, of course, go over to our Facebook page, and you can. I think is that about as big as I can get it here.
If you remember, I produced a video not long ago called Back on Windows 10 because I had a Windows 10 computer that was on the developers or insider channel, and they updated my Windows 10 to Windows 11, even though my Windows 10 wasn't ready to be updated. It will never be ready to update. Now I'm glad to see that it didn't only happen to me. Apparently, it's happened to quite a few people. Microsoft accidentally released Windows 11 to unsupported PCs. I had to change back because one of those updates made that computer not work. So I had to physically, I couldn't roll back. I had to physically do an install back to Windows 10. But now I feel better. I wasn't the only one in that boat. Sorry for the rest of you guys who got stuck the same way.
There you go. Yeah, I've got my main PC that I'm using for all the studio here. Still uses Windows 10. I haven't on the other system I have in the studio. I put Windows 11 on as the backup system. I don't use it that much, but anyway, I think I'll just keep on with Windows 10 for a while. All right, Bob. Chromebooks have a new screen recording app.
Right. You have a built-in screen recorder in your Chromebook, but with the latest update, there's a new one coming out called Screencast. No, not Screencast-O-Matic, just Screencast. And it has features in it that the built-in one does not, so it's an improvement. So once you get the new version of Chrome, you'll also have another option for doing recordings of your screen and sharing it and editing it and doing all kinds of things to it once you have Chrome OS 103 on your system.
So Bob, will Chrome OS 103, is this an app that comes automatically with Chrome OS 103,
It's,
or will you download this as an added app from the Play Store?
it comes automatically by updating to Chromebook 103.
Oh, okay. So the Chrome OS 103. So it'll be an
Yep.
app so
Yep.
it won't be part of that screen recorder that's built into the
Right.
that
You
you
can
get.
still keep using that screen recorder. That one
Okay.
won't go away. This will be an addition, and it will have features in it that the built-in one doesn't have.
Oh, that'll be great because I got Huey. Don't forget, Huey and I do a learning Chromebook session once a month, and it's coming. These months go by pretty darn quick. So we got one coming up not too long, and then so I might even use that. I got 102 now on my Chromebook. Have you got 103 yet, Bob?
Yes,
Yep. At home, I do.
Oh, yeah. So 103 is out, eh?
No, I'm on beta.
Oh, you're on the beta. Okay. Have you used this one, Bob?
No,
No.
it was has just been.
Just released as an update.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm not at
Interesting.
home.
All right. Now, Bob and I, of course, are part of the Google fan. Huey, of course, is part of the Samsung fan, and we have Pixel phones. And Bob was talking about this earlier. Google finally fixed the Pixel 6 DAC problem.
Mhm.
And this, do you want to tell us about that, Bob?
Well, if you have any USB devices or a USB speaker or a headset that you plug in, you know that there's been a problem that the sound quality has not been the greatest. Actually, it's been pretty bad. Now, if you plug in a USB device, a headset, this update will fix that problem.
Very good.
And I showed Ron
Bob,
before we went on, my phone was actually in the middle of doing the update.
yes. So if you do have a Pixel phone, there's a big update. I did mine this morning. It came out just in June, so it's a big update.
My phone is up, restarting now to do the update or finish the update. It's a pretty long one.
So as this is my article, this was the article that came out this morning on Google Watch 5 launch date, colors leaked, blah, 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 goes on and on about the Galaxy Watch 5. Now, I own, of course, the Galaxy Watch 4, and I own the Fitbit Sense. I own both those watches, and I do a lot of watch videos and a lot of stuff. But of course, I don't own a Samsung phone. I own a Pixel phone. And one of the problems is, of course, Wear OS and compatibility with the phones, and particularly a lot of the health features and also Google Pay, of course, will not work on the Galaxy Watch 4. You have to use Samsung Pay. So there are limitations to what you can do. And the Galaxy Watch 4 is really, a lot of the features are specific to Samsung phones. So it is interesting, and a lot of that has to do with Wear OS. And so I don't see a lot of great new features coming with this watch, but it will have the new version of Wear OS. And one of the things that'll be interesting to see will be compatibility issues. And this is also going to be interesting when Pixel Watch comes out in October as well, and we'll look and see what compatibility issues there are. Because right now it is a bit of a problem. And when I talked about last week on the Monday show, of course, I was really anxious to. I was so happy with Google Pay. I was running around on my phone, tapping everything, paying. And when I went to put Google Pay on my Fitbit Sense watch, of course, it doesn't work. And I said, "What?" And of course, Google Pay doesn't work with Fitbit. Google owns both those companies, right? Like, come on, you guys. No, you got to use Fitbit Pay. So that was an interesting process. And of course, Fitbit Pay is a bit different than Google Pay, and it's more limiting on what you actually can do. So you really want Google Pay. So one of the big features I'm hoping, and we'll talk a bit about Pixel Watch coming up in a minute. My big fee is that I think out of trying to get these smart watches, like what's the point of these? Paying your credit card with your watch is a big deal for me. It's probably the number one feature I'm going to use all the time because it's so simple to do. So that is a reason why I would be motivated to buy the Pixel Watch if this all gets sorted out and I can use Google Pay on the Pixel Watch. So anyway, interesting times coming.
There was one thing in that Galaxy Watch article that apparently the Galaxy Watch 5 is going to have that 4 does not, and it's going to be able to give you your temperature.
Yes, you're right.
Ron, before you go any further, Mike Ungerman has a thing up in the chat.
Do you want to bring that up, Huey? Was Windows 11 on your new PC? How difficult to individualize and update it and get all the settings before you being productive?
The answer is yes, it is on the new PC. And when I installed it, because I use my Hotmail account, Microsoft Hotmail, to sign in, it came up and said, hey, listen, you have a Dell 7000. Would you like us to apply the same settings on this new PC that you had on your Pixel, on your Dell 7000? That's the one where the battery isn't charging. I said, yes. And that's exactly what happened. And because I use OneDrive, all of my desktop and all the other stuff populated from that. The only thing I needed to do was to install the programs that I use on a regular basis, like Chrome, of course, Zoom, Screencast-O-Matic, and so on and so forth, all those individual programs. But everything else happened automatically in the background. So the changeover was relatively easy. It took less than a day to do the changeover.
Thanks, Bob. That's good. Hopefully that answers Mike's questions. Huey, was there any more questions that we have while we're looking at them? Was there anything else in the chat?
One more comment.
That's why I have a Samsung phone, Richard says. Well, it is interesting that Samsung does sell a lot of phones. I mean, iPhone is the biggest seller in the United States, but close second is Samsung phones, right? I mean, Bob and I have Pixel phones, but they are really a very tiny part of the whole big picture. So anyway, yes, for sure. Now, moving on, this is an article I posted this morning. I'm not going to go through the article, but I did like this article, and I think if you use Chrome, you should read it. There are a lot of new features, particularly with the tabs in Chrome, that really are helpful. You can group them. There's all sorts of new features, particularly with 102, Chrome 102, that you can use now. And this article outlines those features, and they can make you a lot more productive. So
I actually did a video on that.
Yeah, did we play it on our money? Yeah,
yes,
I showed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I showed it. So it is. So I thought this was a good article, and so I would encourage you, if you use Chrome, you really should look at this, because it's it's just going to make you more productive, and it's very interesting the things that you can do, the grouping of tabs and naming them and saving them and so on and so forth. It's pretty cool. And Bob has a video out.
Yeah, just to be specific on this, this is 10 awesome Google Chrome features you should be using. It's not the Chrome OS. This isn't a Chromebook article.
Right.
This is the Chrome browser.
Chrome browser, correct. Thanks, Huey. Yes, indeed. This is for the Chrome browser. Very good. All right. 6 common reasons people don't want to use it. Guess where
That's
we
what
got
we just
that?
talked about.
I know.
We talked that one out. Okay.
We talked that one out. There you go. Yes. So this is the article about the Pixel Watch, which of course will require a new app on your phone to use it. So again, this is a complete redesign and a new version of Wear OS that'll be running on. So we'll see how this works, and hopefully they are going to launch it probably this fall when the Pixel 7 comes out. So we'll see what features they have.
Sometimes I don't like articles that talk about something coming
Hmm.
because you can't really check it out. You can't do much with it. But then again, a good reason to have it when you're talking about like a watch is, well, am I going to buy a watch today, or do I want to wait till this new one comes out? So I'm kind of torn between these kind of articles of these leaks and what's coming, whether it's of any benefit to me to bother reading them.
Well, the problem is if you wanted to buy a watch now, um, it is like crazy cheap. I mean, the Galaxy Watch 4 and the Samsung and the Fitbit Sense are discounted at unbelievably low prices. Like they are almost giving these darn things away. And if you were thinking, should I buy one now or should I wait, I guess, a few months until the Pixel Watch comes out? What are the differences? What would be the compelling reason to wait and wait for the Pixel Watch? What compelling what reason would there really be? And that's one of the things the articles come out.
And the Galaxy Watch too. Now, when Galaxy Watch 5 and 4, when I got my Galaxy Watch 4, I was in the T-Mobile store and they had a deal. If you bought the 40 millimeter one, it was $0 a month until it was paid off. And the 44, which is the one I got, it was $1.22 a month for 2 years. I just have to pay the monthly charge for adding it to my service because it does use LTE. And I said, well, how much is that? And they said $10 a month. I said, well, $10 for a watch a month is not bad. And so I said, it's a no-brainer. So I did get it.
Now this is an article. Now this is crazy. Like I put this article up because I wanted to see if you guys have heard of this or saw this. All right. So in Canada, the new Costco cards have come out, and they're a MasterCard, and it's with a company called CIBC. Now, when I got my online statement, and was going through the various purchases on as you went down on the online purchases, if it was sort of a $200 purchase, if you clicked on the line, it gives you the option to pay later. In other words, you can actually go down on each item on your online credit card bill, click the item, and finance it. Have you seen this? This is I said, you got to be kidding. So
They're learning from Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam's been doing this forever.
Really?
Buy now, pay later, or
I thought
pay
you
later.
gotta be kidding. Yeah. Have you guys seen this? I mean, this is you're on your online credit card statement. Maybe if you're in the chat listening to this, have you seen this? Like I was blown away by this. And the article is saying this is crazy. MasterCard CEO, buy now, pay later consumer spending this is like crazy, because you're going to just take any of those items on your online credit card, click on the item right while you're online, and say finance, and it takes it off the statement, and you pay how many a month. I thought and plus the interest is of course 19% or whatever you're paying. It's just nuts. That's crazy. This is oh wow. The reason I put the article up there was I want to know if you guys have seen this. Do you guys have? I mean, I don't know. That's crazy.
PayPal has been doing this for quite some time. You can always pay later.
Yeah, Amazon does it too. Yeah.
Yeah. Those
It's a great way for them. They have all that money, and this is one way for them to make quite a bit of interest. 19%. You're talking about 20%. So what is it? 5 years, and you will have paid for it twice.
Right. So the problem is with this, with a master, I don't want to belabor this, but can you imagine not being able to pay the amount at the end of the month. All you have to do is go through the items in your
Yep.
in your statement and just say, no, I'll pay for this overtime. I'll pay for this overtime. And you just keep doing that each month, and then you're going to be locked into Never Land, right? I mean, it's bad.
Problem is, the worse the economy gets, the more
Yes.
tempted people will
Yes.
be to do exactly this.
Bob, you're
And
right.
people will be in such a hole, they'll never be able to dig their way out of this.
Yep.
That's why I put the article in, because I thought this is a good one to talk about. But that's just
Yep.
crazy.
So buy it now, pay for it later, unless you see your attorney to declare bankruptcy later. Then you may never pay for it.
That's right. Speaking of never paying for it, I put this article in this morning. Of course, Tesla
Mhm.
now has 3 years of back orders for their truck, which they haven't. Speaking of buy now, pay later, all those people putting deposits in, they haven't produced the truck yet. So there's
Well, they
3.
paid now and will get it hopefully later.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, they got 3 years. They've been waiting 3 years, some of them. So that's interesting.
Well,
Now,
Starlink too. A lot of people ordered a year or two ago, and they still don't have them.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
Starlink dish in service.
Right. So now here's well, we're having a good chat. Two of my greatest buddies, Huey and Bob, of course, talked me into a robotic vacuum. And then I got addicted to robotic vacuums, wrote a bunch of articles on them, and have a fleet of them now in my house that go and vacuum the house. And it is a rapidly changing field. I don't know if you guys have followed the
Mhm.
technology and the increasing technology about this. And so it is blowing up exponentially, and the prices are falling crazy. I mean, good old the good old iRobot, that from Roomba that was there for 20 years and not much happened. That's all changed, and so the whole technology is all changing. So I put this in here just so we can have a pause and talk about that for a minute, because the prices really are dropping crazy on this stuff, eh?
Well, with LiDAR and onboard cameras and all of that stuff now,
Yep.
it is not just a vacuum anymore. You can actually use these things for other things if you think about it.
Yeah.
Why not start them while you're away on vacation? Have them go through the house to make sure that nothing is broken. It's got cameras.
Yeah.
I mean, I can think of all kinds of things you can do with these.
It could be a security device. Go around and
That's
check.
correct.
Yeah, go around and check and see.
Make sure
So
I got
lots.
no leaks anywhere.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
toilet isn't overflowing.
Yeah,
All of that
that's
stuff.
right. Yeah.
Yep.
Really, really exciting. So I'm having a lot of fun with that, and I want to find someone that wants to buy some used robotic valves so I can buy some new ones. I gotta. I'm just crazy. I haven't bought one for a year now. It's just because the ones I have would just work fine. But oh man, there's some new stuff coming out that's really cool. Just to let you know that Apple.
Well, you can always put the old ones in the closet with your old computers.
Yeah, I guess I could do that too. For those of you, Apple's big event, of course, was it last week or the week before? I can't remember. Anyway,
This week, yeah.
well, this last week, yeah, lots of exciting news. But they did decide to push back the delay of their virtual reality headset, which of course is. I've done a bunch of articles on virtual reality, talked about it, and it's. I think that the thing that I'm excited about this is that hopefully there will be a compelling use to use virtual reality. Aside from, so I'm interested in not so much. I'm sure it'll be a great VR, but I want to see what Apple's take will be on the software that's going to power it and what uses they'll promote for it, which is sort of interesting. So this will, of course, be delayed now.
Have you used yours at all?
Mine, yes. Yeah, I don't use it I don't use it. I had wanted to use it mostly for exercise, and I have an exercise bike, and I wanted to do that. And I get motion sick using it, and it's just an uncomfortable feeling. And I've tried to, I've just got to work at it a little bit more, and I think I can overcome that. And that is a big problem with virtual reality headsets.
Mhm.
Motion
I'm
sickness.
waiting for it to be used in education, like upcoming doctors, for instance,
Yes.
because it's almost like having hands-on, right?
Right. And those applications still haven't generally been written. There's some, that have been, and I'm hoping that Apple's going to, that's sort of what I was alluding to. I'm hoping that Apple sort of will address that issue. And again, it's like the watch. There'll be a compelling reason that you just want to use it, whether it's a doctor's visit or whatever you're going to do. There'll be this compelling reason that will make it really work well. And of course, this is another article that came from. This was of about the M2 chip now, and this will be coming out to all the Apple devices, which is their new chip, which is really amazing. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Super, super fast.
Super fast indeed.
Not cheap either.
No, nothing. Nothing is cheap. So this was an article also about iOS 16 that lets you transfer your eSIM to a new iPhone over Bluetooth. And I thought I would just mention this. A lot of people don't quite understand what an eSIM chip is, and I thought I would just, bring this up. eSIM is in your phone. There is a SIM card, and the SIM card is the card that contains the information from your cell phone provider. It gives you your link to your phone number. It is actually your phone number and the computer software that links to your phone provider, and it is unique to, of course, that phone number. Now, so we all have, or if you don't have an eSIM, have those chips, and many people don't think they have one, but that's probably because they bought it from Verizon, and the Verizon man just gave them the phone, but he went into the back and put the SIM card in, and that's how it works. So there is an actual card in there. But a few years ago in my Pixel 3, I had an eSIM, the capability for an eSIM, so you actually don't need a physical SIM card in there. You actually have a virtual SIM card.
SIM card.
It's a virtual SIM card.
Yep.
And in fact, this is so you don't actually need to go to the store. You don't need a physical SIM that you can put in there. And it worked well. That was on my Pixel 3. On my Pixel 6, it has that capability, but because of the service I have now, I just bought a SIM card and popped it in. But the one of the key that you may or may not know is that if you have an eSIM, a lot of phones also can have a physical SIM, and you can actually have two phone numbers on a phone, and actively use two phone numbers. So it is interesting, but that's what an eSIM is. And so Verizon offers that as well. So if you have an iPhone and it has the eSIM capability, you don't actually have to go in and get a physical card. It can all be done virtually through the software. Right? So that's what we call an eSIM. Huey, does your get a SIM, your new S22? Did you get an eSIM in that, or is it a physical SIM?
I think there's a SIM. I think he put a SIM in.
He put a SIM in. Okay.
Yeah. Because when if you remember, I had some problems with the first one I got, and so a week later I went and they swapped it out and gave me another one, and he took the SIM card out and put it in the new one.
Yeah. So yeah, probably. Okay. Now what I wanted to ask you guys, have you seen this? Did you see this article? This was on How to Geek. This was an interesting article. Now when we do the control, when we do the copy command and paste command, a lot of times the formatting is a problem. Did you know that Control-Shift-V preserves the do you guys know that? I didn't know
Takes
that.
out the formatting.
Yeah,
it doesn't work on my computer.
It doesn't work on yours, eh?
No, because I use a clip program, and so
okay, yeah.
And so it doesn't work with it, and I was really disappointed.
Doesn't work in Word. It doesn't
work. That's one of the big features I like about the clip program I use, which I've been using. They haven't even updated it, I think, in 10 years. I've been using it for a long time, but it does allow me to. It saves all of the old clips, so I can go back 20 clips and it's there.
What's the program? Huey?
It's called Clipmate.
Clipping.
Mhm.
Okay.
but they haven't updated. He stopped support on it. You can still buy it, but you can't. He doesn't update it, and he says he doesn't.
Right.
But I've been using it so long, I'm just so used to using it. I ought to try shutting it off for a while and then trying to see if the Control Shift V works. And if it does, it probably would suffice for what I need that other program for anyway.
Right. So just so that you know, in Windows, if you're copying and pasting from an article and you want to copy and paste it somewhere, a lot of people used to paste it into Notepad, so it got rid of the formatting and then
Yep,
repaste it.
that's-
Save
yep.
it and repaste it. Well, you don't have to do like this. How come I didn't know that? You guys aren't educating me.
But
This
it
is
won't
so
work.
cool.
It won't work in Word. It won't work for instance, PowerPoint or none of those. That you have to do the
Oh,
right
Oh, maybe
click
that.
and right.
That's
This
the
will
only
work
places
if
I've
you're
tried it.
This will work if you're posting it, for instance, on our Facebook page.
right.
If you have something you copied and you don't want the formatting,
Oh, okay.
there it will work. Okay.
Well,
Control Shift V. That's
Yep.
yeah.
Well, the formatting in Facebook, if you copy and paste into Facebook, it doesn't format anyway.
Yes, it does. If I copy something that's got a link in it, that link will be
Oh, a link,
embedded.
a link,
Correct.
yeah.
If
but
you
not
use
fonts,
Control Shift V, then it will not have an embedded link.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but
Alright.
usually Facebook says, "Oh, that's a link," so I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. So
This is an article. It says how to use Google Chrome's reading list. Now, I don't want to. We're not going to go through the article. I just wanted to. I use this all the time, and this is a great feature. If you're, particularly for our news, if you're going around and you're looking at different articles, you want to go back and you read them. This is really great because you can just add it to your reading list and go back and read. So have a look at this and have a look at if you're not. This is built into Chrome, so you may want to use this.
I have so many articles I want to reread. I stick them in Evernote, and I've got over 19,000 articles in Evernote.
There you go. This is what we talked about earlier, Bob. LastPass introduced passwordless vault access, right? That's what you mentioned.
Right.
This is the article that has. Yes, and we talked about Galaxy 4 Watch, $179 on Amazon. Unbelievable cheap these days. I paid twice that when I bought my Galaxy 4 Watch. So these are Costco's got great deals on them as well. So great deals. Now this is of course I think we talked about this before.
Yep.
But the
we have.
Volkswagen Buzz, Bob and I want to buy one of these like crazy, and except we don't have $100,000. So, but anyway, so this is the old Volkswagen Bus, and this is the new.
I had the
Volkswagen.
camper of the Volkswagen, the old
Did you?
Volkswagen bus. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Hey, isn't that? I thought, that is good. I would just love that vehicle. That is oh my gosh. Anyway, we better, we've only got a couple of minutes left. Huey, do you want to go over and have a look? Let's see if we have anybody. Is anyone still listening to us?
Yeah, let's see.
Mike says, if I have to pay later, I wait for credit card companies send me 0 interest checks transfer offer. Yes, indeed. But it's I mean, it's scary. I mean, I could
Yes.
just see this as being a bad thing, I think. And to make it so easy to click a line item and to boom, you automatically create a loan. It's crazy.
Ron, if you have a choice between groceries, medicine, and gas, this is one way to say, I really don't care. I'm going to get all of them and just do it later. Later may never come, but
True.
at least I can get all those things, and because I need all those things.
Yeah.
There are lots of people right now really, really suffering and having all kinds of problems with not being able to afford paying for heat, paying for air conditioning, being able to go to work, all of that stuff.
Yes, indeed. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming. Thanks so much for our coffee this morning, and it was great to. We'll see you Monday, I guess. And I want to thank everyone for coming and listening to us talk today. Sorry we had the microphone problem at the beginning. We thought we had that all worked out, but it didn't, and that's technology, right? It's an evolving.
We do those kind of things just so people understand that they're not
We're
the
not-
only ones that have the problems.
That's right. That's right.
That even those of us who have some knowledge will have things just not work right.
Just not perfect, right? And so we'll see everyone next week, and be sure this will be out on a podcast tomorrow. And if you, I'm not telling anybody what I'm talking about on Monday. It's going to be a secret, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of laughs, and it's something that everybody will be interested in. So, but I'm not going to tell you. My lips are sealed.
He wouldn't even give us a clue before
Nope.
we started the show.
Huey and Bob do not know, so I'm not gonna tell anybody about this. You have to come to the show and see it on Monday.
Winsig on Sunday.
Oh,
Yep.
right. Yes. Winsig on Sunday. Did you want to mention
Yep.
anything about that, Huey, before we
Yeah,
close?
I just put it up there. Stan, who's president of CFCS, is reminding that the Francis Chow is going to present Android phones with Win 10 and Chromebook, and of course the Windows SIG precedes that. Starting at 1:30 Eastern time is when we start. We open the doors at 1 Eastern time. It's the Windows Special Interest Group, and we talk about Windows. I'm just putting a list together of the articles that I'm going to use. They'll be posted on huey.net probably later today, and my newsletter will go out, if not later today, by tomorrow morning. And if you aren't signed up for my newsletter, go to huey.net, and there's a blank form there. You can just fill in your email address and your name, and you will get the newsletter with all the information about the WinSig and the CFCS main meeting.
And with that, we're going to say goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
We'll see everyone next
Bye-bye.
week. All right. Bye-bye now.